1976 Soweto Uprising leader Dan Sechaba Montsitsi has passed away. He succumbed to COVID-19 related complications. Health Minister Dr Joe Phaahla, that is, confirmed that news that Montsisi has passed away during his weekly briefing just a short while ago. Some context for you: Montsisi, as well as Tsietsi, Mashinini, and Khotso, Seathlolo were three of the key youth leaders of the 1976 movement.
My very own old comrade and colleague, a leader of the student uprising in 1976 in Soweto, a leader of the then Soweto Students Representative Council, who was charged with sedition by the apartheid government and served not less than 6 years in Robben Island after spending a lot of time in jail in the John Foster Square in Johannesburg. Comrade Sechaba Dan Montsisi, who also served as a member of parliament, National Assembly, and also Council of Provinces, passed away last night from COVID-19 complications. So this is again just a reminder that this is not just a statistic, but it's people at all times who are known to somebody. And in this case, we want to pass our condolences to the family of Comrade Sechaba Montsisi, his children, and the rest of the family.
All right, let's stay with Montsisi's passing now. Get you some reflections from another 1976 Soweto Uprising leader. That's Seth Mazibuko, who joins us via our video link. But Mazibuko, thanks very much indeed for your time this morning, and my deepest condolences to you and many others around the country who, without a doubt today, feel quite downtrodden by these news. The last time I was with you and Oprah Dan was actually at the 1976 commemoration, June 16 this year. It was at the Hector Peterson Memorial. You perhaps weren't aware of my presence there, but I got an opportunity to speak with Oprah Dan, and at this moment I can't help but reflect on what a loss of an institution really that the country has suffered today.
It makes, you know, I was called last night by the MMC for Community Safety, Mama Mukwena, and I think I was amongst the first people that he called to deliver these bad news. And I never had a slight slip after that. Remember that Dan Montsitsi was accused number 2, when I was accused number 3 in the Soweto 11 trial that actually gave us prison sentence, myself, Dan Mefi, and Sbongile Mkabela. We got a prison sentence when others got suspended sentence. And Dan was also the third president of the student leadership of 1976, coming just immediately after Khotso Seathlolo. Now, there is no more Khotso, there's no more Tsietsi now, there's no more Dan. You can imagine what does that leave me with. It leaves me with, you know, really the whole leadership of 1976 disappearing. And we are trying hard. I'm still trying hard to get this into me. But I'm still in pain because Dan was amongst the few that were left of that leadership. We went through together under difficult torture at John Foster Square and at the old number 4 prison, and under very difficult conditions, studied together in Robben Island. And yeah, the tree has fallen, and now we are exposed to a lot of, well, Dan also took very strong leadership as a member of parliament. And I'm saddened by this, and I'm still trying to get it into myself. But I will be strengthened by the youth today if they keep on the baton of 1976.
He was an incredibly gentle person. At least that's the impression I got when I had an opportunity to speak to him earlier this year.
Very soft, very passionate. And, you know, Dan also sat as he was the second CEO of the I was the first CEO, and then, I was one of the very pushy CEO of the June 16, 1976 Foundation. He took over from me, and he brought in some softer part of June 16 in the family, in his family, in his leadership. And that is why I'm saying we have not just lost a leader, but we've lost a father, we've lost a brother.
Absolutely. He also, in many interactions, spoke very passionately about the role that education can play in the continual transformation of our society. In fact, he had spoken quite highly of the students who are part of the 2016 Fees Must Fall movement, the calls to decolonization that they were making at that time. Your take on ways through which that kind of sustenance can be maintained post his passing, that investment in ways through which education can continue still today to transform our society?
We participated in different forms, particularly with, in supporting the students within the hashtag Fees Must Fall, and particularly on the part of decolonization. Because at the heart of 1976, my brother, of the struggle of 1976, was the, whole change of curriculum, the, Africanization, the bringing about of the struggles, the refocusing in our struggles in South Africa. We have, as what we preach to our young people now lately, was that now, the values, the virtues, and the victories of 1976, should find a center stage in the curriculum of this country, particularly where it speaks to education and it speaks to youth development, because we need to create a generation of young people within or outside Fees Must Fall that learn of those values, learn of the victories of our struggles. Our struggles connect with the struggles of Sharpeville. Our struggle connect with the struggle of BPC SASO trial, and it connects with the PE 33. It connects with Kwazakele Gwanyama. But we don't see this. And we were strong, and I still believe that is still going to be our struggle, and I hope to participate in, of saying, what is it? How do we speak to our own history and heritage as African people? And I'm sitting here today saying to myself, that struggle must still continue. And we must, as the generation of 1976, find a way of saying, how do we get that voice heard by our government? How do we get that voice, converted into practice in the curriculum of education of our children, right from basic to advanced education?
Yeah, in isiZulu we say silahlekelwe kakhulu at this time, and I can think of no other term to describe perhaps how many of us are feeling, including yourself. You've already mentioned that it feels that you are being left alone, essentially, as,
Well, that my brother,
yeah.
saddens me. There were, there's still Murphy and Spongile who were in our trial and were sentenced with me. And so I feel, I spoke to them last night, and that's how we feel. We feel really that generation of 1976 is disappearing.
Yeah. What does that mean for the pressure you might be feeling to continue giving out as much information as you have been doing over the years in order to make sure that at least even the essence of what you guys were fighting for is not lost as our democracy gets older?
I am leading a team of young people who call themselves June 16 Brigades, who belong to the June 16 Youth Development Foundation. And we're working closely with these young people. And the one pillar of the foundation is to, research, document, and archive the history and heritage of 1976. We have done some work with the University of Johannesburg. And we've done some lot of work with these young people of the June 16 Youth Development Foundation. But we're not only doing that, we are also in preaching the values of 1976, doing a lot of community work, working particularly with children and with Mandela Children's Fund, REPSI, and the Human Rights Commission. So to me, if we strengthen that, the other pillar is the pillar on education and curriculum. So if we strengthen that, if we then let our young people understand their own history, and if we focus on that, then bury me the following day.
Well, not just yet, but point taken.
I always tell, whenever June 16 is around and say, next time you come to me, I would like to shut up and then let these young people speak more than I do. And however, we don't want June 16 to disappear in the history of this country. And we don't want June 16 to be taken over by parties and all those things, by drinking and by jiving and dancing. We want June 16 to be something for our youth that they can value and look back and say, we are taking up from our fathers who fought the struggle, who watered the tree of liberation with their blood.
Absolutely. It's incredibly difficult to also reckon with how Braden has actually passed on. It's COVID-19 once again claiming another person in a way that feels so incredibly premature and unfair, but also a sobering reminder for all of us to do our best at all corners of society to try stay as safe as we can.
I'm appealing to our people. COVID-19 is real. And COVID-19 has no color. COVID-19 has no age. COVID-19 is really, second after the bullets that killed our people in 1976. COVID-19 is becoming another form of death that is killing our people. Please, our young people in particular, take this seriously. And thanks to people like yourselves, guys, to preach this gospel of, protection, of trying to make sure that we save our nation. I'm appealing to young people. Let us, make sure that we stay safe and assist our elderly to also be safe. I pray as South Africa, and by the way, I got my second jab only on Tuesday.
Oh, that's a bit of a relief. Hopefully it does what it needs to do, as the evidence suggests it does. But Seth Mazibuko, I can speak to you till the cars come home, but sadly the TV gods don't allow. So let me thank you for your time. And really, once again, my deepest condolences to you. I can feel your heartbreak from my vantage point, and having spoken to Braden myself at close range, I completely understand where you're coming from. So once again, thanks very much indeed.